Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Runeterra Academy freshman class. I am your caster today, Arlant, joined here by my wonderful color caster, Miles David. Miles, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm also a bit apprehensive about casting freshman again. I mean, I'm ready to see what kind of shenanigans the freshies will be up to, but yeah, I'm excited.
I've casted a few of the games in these last few weeks, and they've always been very interesting, very
Straight up
chaotic.
bangers, how I can call it.
Absolutely, straight up bangers.
Absolute bangers. So everyone in the chat better be excited because we got Zenigma Unknown versus Shogun 2077. today, and these are the top two teams in Group Two for the freshman for in the freshman league. So this should be entertaining regardless. But Zenigma Unknown look like they're on a hot streak right now, 6-0, not even dropping a single game.
Yeah, these guys, they look pretty dangerous. They look pretty dangerous. Not quite sure what picks they've been leaning on mostly. Mostly, it has been their jungler who's been like a real standout player.
I
Rank
see.
2. In his role.
Rank two. Well, we'll see what the rank two can do against Shogun 2077 because, well, you never know what could happen in
Absolutely true.
these kinds of games. And Zenigma could end up dropping a game. They could end up losing the series. We don't know. We'll see. But if anyone can do it, it's probably the number two team in the group, right? So
Mhm.
regardless, things should be exciting over what happens. And talking about the current meta right now, I probably won't because this is freshman, and I think people are more comfortable just playing what they want to play, right?
That is true, but there is one thing to consider with the meta is that Zenigma Unknown, they've been pretty consistent in keeping up with the meta, right? In terms of their
Mm,
jungle picks anyway. You see a lot of Diana, a Gwyn game in there, a Hecarim game, all champions that are consistently good within the meta. And their bot laner, he's been mostly on that Caitlyn trip, Jin
mm.
trip. So definitely seeing a little bit of meta come out from Zenigma Unknown, but 2077, they've been kind of all over the place with all of their picks, and I
I
respect
mean,
that.
that's the kind of thing I get excited about when teams just pick something that isn't quite necessarily meta, but it's something they're comfortable with. That's what it allows you to have that how do you call this ease when it comes to playing in the game, right? Where you're not panicking, where you're not worrying about what abilities your champion can do and stuff like that. 'Cause I've been there. I played normal games where I random pick some champion. I have no idea what I'm
Oh, dude, that
doing.
random button. Oh man, it's the
Uh,
most OP champion in the game, bro. And then you get Bard mid. Oh, dude, I love it.
uh,
I'm just
listen,
randomly ulting my team.
I've casted Bard mid in Europe under Schalke, and it was amazing.
Oh
It
no.
carried the game. It carried the series.
I'll take your word for that one. I'm gonna hold off on the judgment. I had my own experience with it. I can tell you it was a roughie.
Listen, Bard give it, Bard take it. But I'm not sure if we're gonna be seeing Bard today. Right now, we're just waiting
Sadly,
for the teams to start
the draft.
hitting the draft. I believe we're getting a new draft soon. But yeah, I mean, it seems like Zenigma just coming in here with a plan. I think that's what's possibly separating them from the rest of the group. If they have an idea of how to play together as a team, if they have an idea of how they want to approach the game, whether they want to go for dragons, whether they want to go for skirmishes, whether they want to go for split pushing. Right now I think the optimal play is just going for dragons because of how powerful they are, and split
Absolutely.
pushers just not as strong right now. But as you said, the champions that they're picking, like the Diana, the Hecarim, the Caitlyn, the Jin, are extremely good at team fighting and good at skirmishing.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. There's only one really good champion, yeah, at the split push game right now, and his name is Tryndamere. And I'm looking across both of these two teams, OPs, and I don't really see too many Tryndamere players of the caliber that you want, right? So more than likely, we are going to be see a lot of skirmishing and fighting around the dragons because like you said, huge objective, massively important, and we're gonna start ban phase one with the
Yeah.
Morgana being taken off the table.
Yeah, Morgana again taken off. You would think that Zenigma would want to take that Morgana pick since she pairs extremely well with the Caitlyn, but possibly just want to take that pick away from either the support or mid of Shogun 2077. Forgive me, guys. I'm still getting familiar with the names of these players, so I'll do my best. All I know is CB Axel is playing, and I'm gonna flame the crap out of him. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, yo. I respect the energy though. He said, I don't care if we're on an official broadcast or not, bro. You can catch the smoke.
I've worked for the guy several times before. He's amazing, but still, yeah. You play in the game I cast. There's no mercy.
There's no mercy. I respect the
Absolutely
energy,
no
bro. I
mercy.
respect it. But yeah, with that, Gangplank and Graves both taken away. Sigma Unknown getting rid of the Graves and 2077 taking away the Gangplank. What else do you think 2077 is looking to ban out as we get close to rounding out our first ban phase here?
Graves getting taken out. Man, these are some good meta picks that Enigma are taking out of the table right now. Graves, one of the strongest top laners that I've seen in a while, just because he's able to, play safe, get priority, and if he gets in trouble, if he gets dove over, it's very easy for him to turn things around due to the smoke screen because he has
Mhm.
dash. So easy taking away, easy ban for them. Trundle as well. I think that's an interesting one. This makes me think that Enigma probably want to go for a team fight com if they're putting maybe a tank in the top lane just to make sure
Yeah.
that Trundle can counter. But Diana first pick, and as you said, the jungler is the priority, so that's what they're going for. Not surprised in the least.
Yeah, that makes absolute sense. But one thing I do kind of worry about, picking that Diana blind is, there are a ton of counters to Diana, and
Yeah, true.
one of the strongest one is the Poppy, right? The Poppy can always come out. Vigar does super well against Diana as well.
Mm,
Both of them super, decent in the meta right now. But we are gonna see the Xayah come out from 2077, so
all
that's
right.
anti-dive right there. So maybe
Yeah.
they're looking at some sort of early roam from the support.
Yeah, perhaps, but Zaya, she still takes a while to get online, and if
Mhm.
Enigma manages to get the ball rolling, then things might not end up super well for Shogun. But it's a decent counter at least for the ADC at being able to stay safe when it comes to those big backline dives that Diana can do, and combos. And Hecarim's gonna get picked up as well. So we're going back to the 21 meta here with Diana versus Hecarim. Gonna be interesting to see how the team fights will go. I feel like whoever gets to drop on the other first will end up winning the team fight, but the outplay potential is always there.
Absolutely. Diana, well known for that outplay potential. And yep, that's going to be the Rakan taken away from
Hmm.
2077. Not
Smart.
willing to give up that duo there. That just makes a ton of sense to me.
Yeah.
Together, they're one of the strongest pairs in the game, regardless of their each individual ranking, right? So what do you
Yeah.
pair
Yeah.
with that ADC wise? Oh,
Oh.
that
Oh. Okay.
that's a huge pick right there. I love it
Okay.
so much. It can go
Yeah.
mid, wherever it can go bot here. I love it a lot.
It definitely could go. I think I'd prefer it going in mid just because of how strong of a 2v2 Yasuo and Diana can be, especially once they hit that level 6, they dive you
Mhm.
under tower, they just delete you off the map immediately. So I like the
Totally.
idea coming from Zenigma right now. They're showing their cards pretty early. It's a toss-up comp. You toss people up, Yasuo comes and cuts them down.
That makes absolute sense. But it can also go into the bot, and I personally wouldn't mind in the bot lane just because of the strength of his win wall. Into Xayah and into Lulu, he can definitely put some hurt on both of them. But like you said, in the mid lane, they delete any one person off the map. It just depends on what they want that mid lane counter pick to be. But again, their comp is super susceptible to that Poppy, right? Poppy
Mm,
pretty much stuffs all of them. So that
yeah.
is something they're gonna have to look out for. Vex is still on the table as well, so maybe one of those two, something that they
Yeah.
look to ban from Zenigma here.
Yeah, if they can disrupt something, if they can get some disruption going on either side, would be super good. I like the
Rygar
fact that
switching, yeah.
Lulu is picked actually because if Diana decides to go in, she gets whimsied immediately. Sorry, she gets polymorphed immediately. Immediately, the whole combo kind of falls apart, right? But still, Zenigma does have some backup in the form of Rakan, and I want to see if they're gonna go for Malphite. Actually, this feels like
Oh my god.
this could be the Malphite game. I'm telling you right now.
They just go for this straight up knock up, knock up, knock up
Yeah.
game. Ah,
I mean, why
yeah.
not? It's simple. It's simple, easy to use comp. Press R to win.
That's fair.
Not complicated. Not complicated at all, right? So if they decide to go for it, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Malphite has been the classic solo queue combo since forever. So
Absolutely. What ADC do you look to pair with that? Like we said, the Caitlyn's still on the table, the most played for the ADC of Zenigma, but Samira loves knockups, right? She has
yeah,
the extra passive for it. So do they opt for the
absolutely.
Samira, or do they opt for something a little bit more supporty like a Jin or Ash?
I wanted the big Samir. That seems like the Chad pick. You know what I mean? That's my
Going
analysis.
for it. Going for the Chad
The
pick.
Chad Vic, yeah. Show you're not afraid. Even though they have a Lulu on the enemy team, doesn't matter. You're still gonna go for it.
Go for the Chad pick. And on the other side, 2077, they have, a pretty standard team comp,
Yeah, yeah,
decently strong at all stages of the
yeah.
game. And ooh,
Ooh.
man, I like that one into the
Speaking of
Mordekaiser.
OP. Speaking of OP.
Speaking of OP,
Yeah, Gwen has been pretty broken in pro play for quite some time now. The fact that Zenigma are comfortable picking it Does not bode well for Shogun 2077. So we'll see what the response is. Mordekaiser versus Gwen. They're both AP champions that have a lot of healing in their kit, but I would still favor the Gwen just based on sheer numbers and
Yeah,
1v1 potential, you know?
yeah, just based off the numbers of true damage and
Mm.
percent health true damage, which is
They
very
both have
balanced.
they both have it. It's just Gwen has more.
Tons more.
It's just like it's simple math, right? Two is greater than
Simple
one.
math. True, true. But at the end of the day, the Jin does come out. So,
I
like we
mean,
expected, the long range support kind of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
style.
They
And
could have picked Ash
Victor,
into this. They could have picked Jin.
yep.
Honestly, it would have worked out either way. But basically, Rakan is not going to be in bot lane.
No, he's 100% leaving bot lane at around, once Yasuo hits level 6, Rakan says goodbye, and Jin is just left alone under turret. And,
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Meanwhile, Shogun here with the absolutely standard comp. We have a mage in the mid lane, hyper carry in the bot lane, so you know where the resources are going. Hecarim's gonna be going around, trying to cover his lanes, making sure that they can farm safely. But will they be able to withstand the assault coming from Zenigma Unknown? Is the big question.
that's an interesting question too, because like I'm looking at their comps and I do like the Hecarim pick here, right? Like I love the Hecarim pick here,
Mm,
especially since you know that they are going to be pushing a lot of resources into the mid jungle duo, right? Like or into the top side with the Rakan.
excuse me.
So whenever Jin is left alone, you just dive bot on repeat with Hecarim and they can't really do anything because you have so many ways of dropping tower aggro or just tanking it entirely with the Lulu ult or Xayah ult. And
Mm.
this Jin is going to have a rough time of it if they aren't properly warding and setting up vision before they go with their Rakan roams.
Yeah, that's true. What one thing I do like about the Shogun's comp too is that they have a lot of ways to disrupt what Zenigma want to do, right? If someone decides to go in, Mordekaiser can use his ult, or Lulu can use her polymorph, or Hecarim can immediately respond back and use the onslaught of shadows to completely disrupt the combo that Zenigma Unknown is going for. But here's the thing, Arlen. It requires a lot of coordination to be able to pull that off.
Absolutely. The coordination needs to be on point. So yeah, they have to be communicating about that. Lulu needs to be talking about which target she's going to polymorph, and Mordekaiser needs to be talking about which target he is going to ult out of the fights. And speaking of targets, he's looking to ult out of the fights. More than likely, it's hard for him to ult both Yasuo and Diana. They're both extremely good duelists, and they both have a secret little weapon over Mordekaiser. The fact that both their dashes places them behind Mordekaiser's Q, he's gonna have a
Yeah.
rough go of it if he tries to ult. Honestly, anyone except Jin and Rakan.
I think his best bet is ulting Diana. Unless because she probably will not build a QSS. If she does though, that'll make it a lot harder for Tafiki's dad to be able to impact the rest of the map because as you said, you're caught between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, if you 1v1 the Gwen, I think you're gonna be the one trapped in there with the Gwen, not the other way around. You know what I mean?
It's almost like Gwen is immune. Yeah, she's probably gonna beat you up, and it's not
Yeah.
even gonna be pretty. And if you go for
Yeah.
Yasuo, we've all seen Yasuo get the 1v1 and then get the pentakill immediately afterwards. It's
Yeah.
not a pretty sight.
Snyderman though, he could be going 10-0, he could be going 0-10. We don't know. We'll still see. It's the
Honestly,
Schrodinger's
they're both
Yasuo.
very scary.
Schrodinger's Yasuo. Oh yeah, that's true. Fair enough.
Like the 0-10 power spike, dude. I'd rather face the 10-0 Yasuo because at least then he's confident.
Yeah, yeah,
And he
that's
might he
true.
might overextend. The
Becomes
0-10 one doesn't care.
That's true. That's true. That's fair. That's fair. Well, the guys are picking the team comp, and we know what both these teams are capable of. But like when we look into the game, what's going to happen in the early game? As I said, Shogun, they want to be able to cover their lanes. They want to be able to farm safely in order to get their item power spikes. But Zenigma, they're just going to go all out assault. They're just going to be aggressive starting from minute one. And once they get to level 6, you can bet that they're going to be skirmishing all over the map, trying to get control over the river, over the enemy jungle, over objectives. And it'll be hard for Shogun to be able to respond. But if they're able to isolate, if they're able to, catch Zenigma alone, if they're walking around in the river trying to set things up, then that could make things a lot more interesting.
Absolutely. And one thing you want to highlight is the fact that as much as Enigma kind of wants to play this mid game, skirmishing phase, they just don't have the priority in their lanes, right? Zaya just naturally outpushes Jin. Victor naturally outpushes Yasuo. And Mordekaiser versus Gwyn matchup, that's where it really kind of gets iffy on who gets priority in that lane. Just that one's just pure mechanical skill, right? So that's something that the Yasuo has to look out for because he just doesn't get that priority into Victor unless he gets a few kills and then he can start threatening with the
Hmm.
tornado. Yeah, just things to look out for. Crockpot, a new player here in the freshman league, so interesting to see how his Victor plays out.
Yeah, I mean, Victor's not normally a champion I would associate with freshman league. If I'm to be completely honest with you,
That's fair.
so that's why it's gonna be interesting for me to see how Crockbach actually plays out this matchup, right? Because
Mhm.
as a mage, you have to be able to hold down your lane. You have to be able to not die at all to the assassin, and you should have the advantage once you get the range going. So if Crockbach managed to hold things down and stop Snyder from snowballing, that could go a long way into ending this game in the favor of Shogun 2077.
Absolutely. But with that, we will take it to a quick break. Don't go anywhere, anybody. This is Runeterra's Academy of the coverage of the freshman leagues, Zenigma Unknown versus Shogun 2077. welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Zenigma Unknown versus Shogun 2077. I am your play-by-play for this evening, joined again by Miles Davis. Miles
Th-
David.
Yeah.
Miles David. It's my fault. Miles
you
David,
got you got
how
you got the guy my name is based on, but yeah.
it's
I wish
close enough.
I wish I was that good, man. I wish I was that good at music.
Close enough,
Close enough, close enough. One letter
Minions
off,
have
it's fine.
yeah, it's just a little bit of a Anyway, talk to me about this game, talk to me about the team, talk to me about the runes, anything that catches your eyes.
All right. First thing that catches my eyes, it looks like they're going for an invade right now. So that's the interesting part. One thing I noticed about teams that are high in the standings, they like to go for these little strong level one plays that allow them to take an advantage early on that allows them to snowball. And I like the fact that Zenigma is doing that because snowballing is kind of the name of the game for them, right? Even though they have all these good scalers like the Yasuo, like the Gwen, if they get into a team fight late game or if the game drags on up till then, it will be their opponents that will have the advantage. So if they're able to get things going early, it'll allow them to be much more effective when it comes to these mid game and early game skirmishes.
Dude, that makes sense. One thing I just want to highlight is, the fact that CBSL is going for, that sort of I think, what is it, lethality Zaya build,
Yeah.
even though they just buff the AD Zaya build. What do you think about that one?
I think it's fine, especially since there are not really any tanky members that are trying to build armor or on the side of Zenigma Unknown, but level 2 has already been won by the side of Zenigma. Oh, they're gonna go for more.
Really going in, getting the root down. But the fourth shot was exhausted by the Lulu, and now they're running down JK, but with the exhaust wearing off, they can't do anything else, and that's just going to be a quick trade. Just one summoner expel expended from the side of Shogun. Snyder Man, the trade in.
That's gonna be an important summoner spell as well. If they decide to go for a dive down there in the bot lane, they won't have the exhaust to stop Diana from going in. So an important advantage taken in the bot lane by JK and Wooly Bully.
Absolutely, and the second, what's the word? The second rune I want to talk about is the fact that Crockpot didn't opt to go Airy himself, instead going for the first strike onto Snyder. I don't think it's too effective in this scenario, just with the way he's been trading so heavily, right? And we might look at a dive on the mid lane here.
No, not yet. Not yet,
No.
at least. But, you expect Wooly Bully to be the one roaming around, right? You expect him to be the one to start initiating fights while Diana is starting to farm. She technically becomes that kind of secondary jungler because Jin, especially fighting against Asaya and a Lulu, he'll be fine on his own, honestly. Oh, wait. Tafiki's dad might be in trouble.
Wooly Bully is up here. He goes with Flash, but Tafiki's dad dodges it very nicely.
Going for
The
more.
Ignite drops down as well, but no extra damage to follow that through, and he still had the shield, so he didn't feel like he was in danger at all. That was very well played from Tafiki's dad right there.
Yeah, didn't even have to expend a single summoner spell during that entire exchange. So, fortunate for Wooly Bully, not having his Ignite, not having his Flash, so that advantage there in the bot lane is kind of expended right now. They tried to go for something, weren't able to get anything. So now it may be time for Shogun to try and make a play, knowing that the support summoner spells are gone from the side of Zenigma.
Well, one thing you do have to worry a little bit about, from the Hecarim here is whenever you gank on Hecarim, you really want that first gank to succeed, because if you fall behind on Hecarim, it's so hard to play him for the rest of the game, right? So he's waiting for his moment, he's waiting for his time, and when it comes, hopefully it's the most perfect opportune time he can choose, and then he just gets so far ahead that he just runs through the rest of the game.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to go for the level 6 play, trying to get the Onslaught of Shadows as soon as possible before he tries to go for a gank. Make sure he gets that guaranteed kill, Meanwhile, we have another 1v1 here in the top lane, late and a bit of trouble. Has to be careful when it comes to the trade, because Mordekaiser's passive can still do a lot of damage if he's not going to be careful. Might have his ultimate soon, though. Oh,
going back in for another trade. Wait. Forced to flash out there, and that's... Oh, man.
No.
Tafiki's dad is getting all these flashes without having to do anything about it.
I know, right? This man's getting away with murder.
Absolutely. And, now that he has his own flash, once he hits that level 6 power spike, he can honestly keep the wave frozen under his own turret, flash on top of Let when he tries to walk up, and kill the Gwen that way, get a nice cheeky first blood.
Yeah, he could if he decides to go for it. Right now, I think he just pushed the lane in. I definitely did not freeze it. So
Not frozen.
yeah. So things probably not gonna play out the way you intended to. Yeah, the lane's
Unfortunately not there
unfortunately, yeah,
yet.
the lane's unfortunately pushing. I think he probably just wants to go for he just wants to push the wave in, go for a bap. Well, it's safe to do so. When it's his turn, oh look, you have a gank here in the bot lane.
Tamiri gets rooted up. That's the dash in, and that's going to be the heal coming out as well. Polymorph comes down on the Woolly Bully, and nothing comes out of it. But look at the top side. Let finally has level 6. Tafiki's dad also have a level 6,
Oh,
and
no.
they're going to start trading hard. That's going to be the ultimate coming out from Tafiki's dad. The ultimate hasn't come out for Let. There it is, and that's going to be the needles. And oh, why'd you flash, buddy? It's going to be Let picking up the kill, turning it around with the needles.
I think he tried to flash the ultimate, but unfortunately did not work. Late though, might be in a bit of trouble. Tafiki, and try and get one back.
Tafiki coming up there.
I don't know about this one.
Get avenge his father, and that will be the final Q. Using the ghost there, and with that kill, it feels good to get that kill back. But what do you give up in return? You give up the first Drake, an Infernal Drake, over to the the team that you really don't want all that extra damage to be on top of.
I'm really surprised that that Tafiki's dad decided to take that fight when he had an item disadvantage and they were both level 6. At that point, you're going to end up losing the 1v1 just to sheer stats.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Gwyn
it's just
Gwyn is honestly such a stat kind of checky character, but
yeah.
looking for a trade here, Snyder and Croc. Nothing comes out of it. No ultimate gets expended. The stun came down just in time. Saved Croc's life there. But it will be key, again, taking away this blue buff from the Hecarim. Honestly, he's just been counter jungling him pretty effectively all game long.
Yeah.
He is down, 6 CS, but I think that's from a wave plus maybe a camp. So not through own fault of his own. Blame his top laner for dying, honestly. Blame him in the call later.
Yeah, exactly.
Heavy trading on the top side. What are you doing, Tafiki? Oh no, you hate to see it.
Yeah, there's a problem with Gwen. As soon as you give her like an inch, she will take a mile. So Late, he's having the time of his life right now after Tafiki's dad lost that 1v1. But you know what? Even though things are dire in the top lane right now, even though it looked like they were going in Tafiki's dad's favor, I mean, things could still turn around and Tafiki has to get out of here.
Yeah, Tafiki has to run away. His father was just killed. Let's on the warpath though, looking to chase him down. That's the needles coming out. The slow's coming out, looking for another needle. Oh, but he misses it, shoots in the wrong direction. But now it's TP's dad, and he's getting caught out again. Who gets the kill? And it's going to be Let getting his 3rd kill in as many minutes. That's a huge yikes moment.
I've heard about fathers sacrificing for their kids, but goddamn. That's not the way you want to go, man.
that did come down from Snyder to pick up the assist, but using all that pressure, they're gonna go ahead and pick up the first rift build.
Yeah,
likely hand it over to Let and just push this Gwyn through the roof.
So Zenigma now are able to get basically every objective for themselves. They're able to get another kill for themselves, and this is just through a single opportunity that went down in the top lane, where Tafiki's dad unfortunately lost the 1v1, and now things might just end up snowballing out of control, and that's the thing we were worried about, right? From Zenigma's team comp coming into this game.
Yeah, their team's super snowballing once you give them the chance. And look at that key already looking to drop that Rift Trail on the top side. Tafiki running away at light speed.
That's
honestly a smart move.
That was a very ambitious call for Tafiki to go in without vision, without the help of his support. If he had gotten knocked up, I think that's an ultimate. That's an immediate last breath by Snyderman to be able to get that and get that kill onto Hecarim. And at that point, as you said, Tafiki, if he falls behind, then things are looking extremely dire for the side of Shogun 2077.
Yeah, right now, honestly, he's their only strong point. Jin has been pretty much laning alone for most of this game here, looking for an aggressive trade as I speak. But this Jin has been looking really alone pretty much this entire game. But he still has, a huge CS lead, right? It's like he is just honestly outplaying his bot lane counterparts, and it's
Oh, wait.
super good. That's the last breath coming out. Croc is forced to flash, and again, more heavy trading on the top side. That's going to be the storm coming out. That's going to be Tafiki with the ghost. He's looking for it, but he misses. The onslaught of shadows. The flash comes out from Snyder. Super well played from the Yasuo here, and nothing comes from all that heavy trading.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Wait, like it's ultimate. Tafiki's dad. The ultimate comes out from Len as well. He's looking for one last Q, and he hits it. Very nice, Samari forcing his own ult out, and that's going to be the flash in from CB as well. But look at the cleanse, look at the moves. JK looking to get the kill back, but his support's almost dying. Wooly Bully getting out of it, and he looks right into the Diana with the ultimate, and she hits the ultimate. Tamari running right into the second shot of JK, and everything just exploded in the faces of Shogun 2077.
Oh no, it's a disaster for Exxon and Tamari. I thought they're gonna be able to get the kill, but Wooly Bully just barely able to get away by the skin of his teeth, and his jungler was there to back him up. So unfortunately, Axel flashed too. Axel had already used his flash prior and ended up getting punished for it. So unfortunate series of events for the bot lane. They thought they smelled blood in the water. Unfortunately, it was their blood.
They were smelling their own blood in advance. It sucks, man. And you know what really sucks is that this Jhin has a far more scaling build compared to the Xayah, right? He has the Cole in inventory, nearly completed, 22 stacks left to go. Just got a huge influx of gold and both a kill and assist and so many turret playings. Honestly, this entire team is something you have to watch out for because, like we said, it's a super snowballing team. But when this entire team just starts snowballing, even with this minor misplay from Let in the top side, I don't think it's too much of an issue. Just now completing his first item, going for the Nashor's Tooth.
Yeah, get that bigger attack speed. And
Nash doesn't have the ultimate. He does have flash. Does he opt to use it? He does, but that's going to be the flash coming in from Let. The charm comes out from Wooly Bully, but no! The turret doing just enough there to keep the top laner alive, and that's Let forced to run away. Didn't have his own ultimate to look for the dive. Very well played from Tafiki's dad there.
Yeah, pretty much. He's been getting away with a lot right now.
But the onslaught of shadows right on to JK, and he didn't have the cleanse, but they do have the flank onto Tafiki's dad. That's going to be the ultimate coming out from Let, and that they don't even need the second needle shot. That's going to be the Q taking him out, and that's going to be the fourth kill from Let. But look at Snyder, who's trying to outplay this. The ultimate comes in, and that's going to be Diana with the flash, with the ultimate, and that's going to be the last breath to follow it up. So much damage. The Victor is already gone, but look at Tafiki. Look at Victor. They outplay it. They get the 2v2 double kill, and that's a mid-jungle domination from Crockpot and Tafiki. Very well played from those guys.
They were not able to touch Crockpot anyway during that entire skirmish there in the mid lane, and so he was just free to do as much damage as he wants. So things are ending up a lot more even than they could be. With it looks like with Zenigma Unknown kind of throwing a few of their leads right there, trying to go for plays. The top lane still working out for them though. Tafiki's dad ended up falling for the bait of trying to go for the low HP target while Gwen just came in from the Gwen was just hiding in the bush, and that is why bush control is very important, folks.
Bush control is one of those important things in this game. But yeah, now that the Victor opting for the Ludens instead of, you know, a safer thing like the Crown, honestly, I would have gone for the Crown here, you know. They have so much burst damage if they get on top of you. You could be in a rough spot.
Chad, he knows. He wants to go full damage, just balls to the walls damage. He will just, if he's the type of guy who will be like, just dodge it, you know.
Just dodge the instant engage from the Rakan and the Diana. Just
just step away. That's the Sigma male grind set the Crockpot has. What can you say?
Honestly, I respect it, but yeah. So you know, still even with those few minor misplays, still pretty heavily getting out CS across the board is Shogun 2077. The only person with the CS lead, or you know, CS lead, is the jungler, and that doesn't mean too much at the end of the day.
Yeah,
but maybe he does have 2 kills, right? He does have 2 kills, no deaths. Maybe he could look to do something here.
Yeah, at least Hekrim's not behind, which is, you know, one of the things that Zenigma Unknown could have attacked a bit more. But Tafiki being even, or at least kind of ahead of the Diana at this point in the game, allows him to be more wary around the map. The problem is they're rapidly losing map control with both sidelines getting pushed in again and again and again. Right now, Jin was able to take the first tower by himself as well. Oh wait, the combo!
Oh, he gets a 3-man, but Yasuo wasn't there. Snyder wasn't there in range, but they still pick up the Lulu. The Lulu is a sacrifice. But look at Crockbot. And the ultimate does find the Diana. It's doing so much damage, but he's just running away, looking for the final needles, and they do hit them. But now Vicky just picked up Wooly Bully there, and it's going to be 2 separate 1v1s, both of them, which I think Shogun 2077, I think they win both of them, and it is going to be a triple kill for Tafiki, and that's going to be the pings going down directly onto the Rift Herald. So even though they lose first turret, they win the fight, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, that was. Not for Zenigma, though. That was absolutely not beautiful. The fact that they pulled the trigger way too early while Snyderman was still not in the vicinity to use the last breath was very, very unfortunate, honestly. Krapak was able to unleash everything that he had, all the DPS he had in store onto the enemy team, and it was just Tafiki's dad and Tafiki, the father-kid duo, cleaning things up.
Absolutely. And like you said, Snyderman just wasn't in range, and then, you know, Wooly Bully tried to take a 1v1 with the... You know, I think he was 2-0 Hecarim at the time, and you're not gonna win that one, buddy. But Let going super hard onto Fiki's dad doesn't have the ultimate to actually do anything, so at the end of the day, he just walks away. But Wooly Bully is caught out here. He is pretty much alone, and that's gonna be heavy trading on a JK. But they do manage to get out of there without using any summoner spells at the end of the day.
Very risky for Wooly Bully, but you know, it's a Rakan. He's a very slippery character to try and pin down. That's why he's so useful when it comes to these team fights, where he can just dance around the entire enemy team. You know, on the top lane, it's still late, getting stronger and stronger on the Gwen, which is a point of contention as well. Because once she gets going, oh wait!
Ooh, the ultimate comes out immediately. That's gonna be Diana shutting down Tafiki, but the teleport comes out. That's him immediately going airborne, but he gets the Lulu ultimate, and oh my gosh, Snyder is instantly popped. CB low on the side, free hitting. Tamari just, oh no, CB low snipes that away from the support.
Oh no!
Sure the support doesn't get it, and JK messes with the flash. Finally, Tamari taking a kill from the AD carry there, and that is just a complete mess up there from the side of Zenigma. They were looking for the play, the cheeky little kills, and they just couldn't find them.
Yeah, they were getting the play, but again, Crockbot, untargeted, free to do as much damage as you want. He just lays down his abilities, watches them, and it was in close quarters too, right? It's not an open space where Yasuo and Diana can like run around. They were stuck inside the narrow corridors of the jungle. They stared right into the fire of Crockbot, and they paid dearly for it. Ended up losing that skirmish down there as well. And it feels like they shouldn't be taking these fights without Late, at least, because he is their strongest point on the map right now.
Yeah, and not only they shouldn't be taking the fights, they don't need to be skirmishing, right? They need to be farming, looking for the, their power spikes as, key, going for a little bit of an aggressive trade. They need to be farming and looking for their power spikes, and then look to bait in the opponent into a fight like a choke point, or in the river looking for the Drake. Speaking of Drake, it is going to spawn in 3 seconds, and that is going to be the next objective. So maybe they play this fight out properly, as Spiki's dad is getting chunked out a little bit. Everyone coming down to this bottom half of the map, looking to pick up this first Drake of the Soul.
If they manage to pop Victor, that would be the best bet for them. The Drake's getting started right now, and it'll be up to Shogun to try and respond to this.
Victor and CB are their targets here. Snyder, Diana looking for it. His dad takes a little bit of poke damage, and that is going to be the Drake getting picked up. Do they take the fight? It is a little bit late, but it looks like they're doing it. Tafiki's dad gets knocked up, and look at the opposite side of the fight. The Diana goes crazy. Let's going crazy. They pop Crockpot, and he's gone. Tafiki's dad loses the 1v1, and now it is just a complete rout. Tafiki trying to get out of there. He does have the ghost, but that's going to be the flash in from Let, and that is a 4-for-0. With Baron spawning in 40 seconds, so they can't pick that up, but they do take the Drake, they do take the fight, and they take everything on the map.
Yeah, they're going to be able to take the tower, mid lane tower as well, and that's a big mistake from Shogun 2077 there. If you're not going to fight for the Drake, you might as well just be farming, honestly, if you're them. Instead, they just watch their opponents take the Drake, and then immediately got caught in a wombo combo from both the Rakan and Diana and Snyderman. So they really just wasted time and gave just so much to the enemy right there, because it's not like it's an essential Drake, right? It's not Dragon Soul just yet. They can still afford to just give it up and continue to farm.
Absolutely. If you're not there first, might as well give it up, especially when you're walking into such a heavy wombo combo style of team. And one thing I want to highlight is that they didn't even properly utilize their wombo combo, right? Like Wooly Bully was trying to work con ult onto Tafiki's dad, but then Tafiki popped his own ultimate, took Snyder into the death realm, and it was just a 1v1. And then Diana got a two-man ultimate off on the side. It was a very scattered fight, but they just have more hyper carries, right? They have the Gwen, they have the Diana, they have the Yasuo, they have the Jin, all hyper carries versus only two on the side of Shogun 2077. So they need to be taking, they need to be looking for skirmishes. They need to be taking their fights a little bit smarter. They
Yeah.
need to be looking for isolated side lane targets.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I wouldn't call Jin a hyper carry per se, but it certainly feels like that in this game at least.
When
JK is
he's
doing
one-shotting
really good.
people, when he's
JK
one-shotting people with 1,000 damage.
Yeah, you might as well. They brought Jin in for utility to set up Yasuo and Diana for success, but he's doing a lot of work himself, especially with the way that he was able to win lane 1v2.
Oh,
JK has been absolutely like a rock this game.
absolutely stomping lane. Are still up a considerable amount of CS, about 40 at the moment, the highest CS in the game, and maybe he can hit the coveted 10 CS a minute as they start the Baron dance. Start setting up vision, start controlling vision. It's a little bit too early for them to look for it, but it's always in the cards if they take a winning fight. And one thing I want to highlight: what's up with the Yasuo build? Why is he going for Hearthbound Axe here?
I think he's probably going for a more tanky build, maybe. Honestly, at this point, you can build anything on Yasuo and probably get away with it. It's a very versatile champ at this point. As soon as you get past from the crit, oh wait, they go for more.
Cool. And that's going to be the Xayah ultimate comes out, but it does root up a few people. That's going to be key going gold, and he has the Diana ult. No, he doesn't. It was already used, and he almost picks up Crockpot there. And it is going to be TPK Data Snyder on the top side of the map. That is going to be Snyder with the ultimate, and he's bursting down, doing a little bit of damage. He's going to win. He flashes out of the last Q. The Q comes out, but it doesn't matter. Tafiki is tanky enough to win the 1v1. And it's exactly like we happened. They win the skirmish.
Yeah, pretty much. But look at the map control that Zenigma is able to get as well. They're able to get more turrets for themselves, a lot more gold onto JK and late as well. Even if they lose the skirmish, they're still able to get something across the other side of the map, and that's where the gold lead they have right now is coming from. And that 1v1 against Snyder, man, he should have probably thought a bit more carefully before taking a fight with a Mordekaiser with a Bramble Vest. I feel like
this Mordekaiser stacking full armor here, kind of.
I feel like a lot more thought should probably go into taking those fights.
Just a little bit, and
you press tab, see that your opponent. Oh, he has Bramble Vest. It completely counters my healing. I probably should not take that 1v1.
No, I win that, bro. Trust. Oh, and you know what? It's looking like it's gonna be a wit's end as Wooly Bully is forced to flash out here, but it doesn't matter. Tafiki is right there. The ultimate comes out, and they're gonna be able to pick up the Rakan there, but. 30 seconds before this Drake spawn, the Rakan will be back on the map and maybe even there for it. So it's, not too effective at the end of the day. But it does feel nice to get the kill on to Speed.
He felt it. He wanted to go in on that. I could feel it in his bones. Trying to go in on that immediately.
Yeah, it's going to be Elite trading a little bit aggressively there. And he did get the QSS on the Gwen. So that's Gwen, first person paying the QSS tax. Jin as well paying the QSS tax. More than likely Yasuo is going to be paying that as well. That just makes sense, especially if he's going to be the one matching Tafiki's dad. That's going to be Elite taking out the turret, probably looking to start the teleport. But where do you teleport? There is a ward pretty deep in the enemy territory that you could look to flank, but Crockpot also has teleport, not looking or letting him get the opportunity to.
Yeah, Crockpot has to be very careful though. Late is extremely deadly. He's kiting back super well right now.
On the bottom side of the map towards this Drake.
They're giving up position, really?
They give up position? What? But they do. But look at the backside of the pit.
Oh, it's a trap.
Oh, but look at the Viki. He's going in, but he doesn't have the ultimate. That's gonna be a 3-man Yasuo ultimate. Just as we were talking about Tafiki going in, he went in at the wrong moment. Snyder again gets ulted by Mordekaiser, but it's one of those things where it really doesn't matter. Gets knocked up by Wooly Bully, and they're gonna start looking to run down Crockpot here. Good flash out, saves his own life, but that will be them losing the Drake off of the back of a great engage by Diana Yasuo.
I cannot believe that Shogun just gave up their position there on the Dragon Pit.
They put themselves into that choke point. That was weird.
That was extremely weird. And then Tafiki he has to be the front line, right? He has to be the one. He has to be the one in front. Basically gave an opportunity for the Rakan and Diana to get in onto the backlines. Bully Bully and Key Gaming. It was basically paradise for them to be able to do that. And Yasuo just comes in, deletes everyone. I mean, that's basically the strategy 101, right? But it feels like Shadow Gaming, Shogun 2077 just gave them the opportunity on a silver platter.
Yeah, it did. And one thing I want to highlight is that Tamire and CBSL, they didn't get the opportunity to use their ults. That's how instantly they were popped, right? And I don't even think I think Tafiki used his ult to get out, but I'm not. But he definitely didn't use it to go in, right? The onslaught of shadows didn't come out for the engage, so he just kind of ran it in and then ran it out immediately. But by the time he got back, his team was already caught in a 3-man. He also Diana engaged, but now 9,000 gold ahead for the side of Zenigma. How are we looking to close this game out?
Good. Sorry, I was muted for a bit. I had to cough. That's a good question. Honestly, at this point, they can just go for a fight with Dragon. I think they're just too far ahead gold wise, and late. He's just free to split push and give as much pressure as he wants. He's going for the 1v1 right now.
Be running him down. Tafiki and Tafiki's dad is there, but it doesn't even matter. That's gonna be the flash in from Lee, and he's just taking so much damage. What can they even do about it? They don't have any anti-heal anymore. And that's going to be the ultimate coming out from the Lulu. It's almost like Gwen is immune. CBXL didn't get to hit, really. That's the Q coming out. And that's the ultimate from CBXL, but he's so much healing. He'd last for so much longer. They could have gone for the Baron.
They could have. They definitely should have.
They weren't set up. They didn't communicate about that play on the other side of the map, but it is fine. But they do have the opportunity to look for Crockpot here.
They're doing it now, but
they see it. No, they opt for the Baron immediately, and that's going to be Taviki trying to rush over. Maybe he has time for reset, but no, the time for reset is long gone, so he has to get here as soon as possible.
All right, even though it's a bit late, they're still going to be able to get the cross-map objective, so really well played by Late to get all that attention onto him. Able to go 1v4, as we know Gwen's won't want to do.
Because Gwen just does that, shrug. Especially when you have three items.
It also looked like she was close to winning that as well, which is the crazy part.
I think Gwen does win that if Excel didn't, ult there. I think Gwen absolutely has more than enough healing to cut through all their HP. Maybe
yeah, honestly.
Lulu.
If let's say in a world where Axel and Tamira were able to use their summoners in that last team fight, and they didn't have it for that skirmish against Gwen, quote unquote skirmish against Gwen, then it could have fallen out of their favor, and we could have seen a quadruple coming from Late at this stage in the game.
It's Biggie's dad. They find Wooly Bully, but Wooly Bully does not care.
Man's not scared. Yeah,
he's not scared at all.
He
Didn't
just
even bother
sidestepped.
flashing. Didn't even dash. He just walked it out. So whatever. I respect that energy, bro. That's alpha right there.
Yeah. That's what you like about Zenigma, right? It's just a team full of chads playing League of Legends. Absolutely. Just dodge, bro. What are you doing?
One thing that feels bad is the Yasuo, right? Like, look at his items. Not the best in comparison to the rest of his team, but he's doing his best. As Lee again finds Tafiki's dad off in the side lane. Gwen is immune, but that is the flash out from Tafiki's dad. But he pulls it back in closer. Why would you do that to yourself, there, buddy? Crockpot trying to trade aggressively on Elite there, but it doesn't even matter. Elite just walks it out, and in the middle of the map, they're starting the siege of the mid inhibitor turret.
Yeah, it's not like they have this. It's not like they have the strongest siege potential right now, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. They're just so far ahead at the moment. Plus, they can threaten and dive onto the enemy team, so they have to play a lot more carefully.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
That's gonna be cannon, bulked up cannon. It's taken. That's gonna be Wooly Bully starting the engage, looking for the charm. Doesn't find it on anybody, but except for the Lulu. But look at the backline. They couldn't get the combo off because the Rakan was right, or sorry, the Tekken was right there. But it doesn't even matter at the end of the day. It is going to trade the Yasuo for CBXL. Crockpot, what are you doing? Tafiki block for your mid laner there. That's going to be a triple kill. Going over to JK, he's trying to find more, but that's going to be Lee and Diana destroying it. Yup, the GGs. You have to imagine they're coming out here. They're trying to look for something. The ultimate comes out.
Unless
Keep gaming, but he still goes golden. It doesn't even matter. It's Tafiki's dad. He has double stopwatch. Oh no! That is gonna be GG coming out here. Key Gaming and Squad, an absolutely fantastic showing in this game number 1.
Yeah,
versus Shogun 2077.
It was JK that ended up winning the fight for his team right there at the last moment. Absolutely
Oh,
massive
absolutely.
on this gen. Even though it was a bit of a quiet performance coming from him. He wasn't too flashy with the Jin, but still the most skills in the team, able to play janitor extremely well and able to get ahead. I think the important part was that he was able to get ahead in the 1v2, like alone against a double range. I think that's the most surprising to me. The fact that he was able to get away with so much while Wooly Bully was out and about trying to make plays all around the map.
Absolutely. it just well, okay, I was trying to look at the damage graphs, but I forgot that how bugged they are. But yeah, definitely. JK, Key Gaming and Leet, all played out of their minds right there.
Yeah.
The only part about that fell down was Snyder. Fell way too far behind on the Yasuo to really do anything. But
I
he
mean,
got his ultimates out where they counted, and
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
when you're just a CC bot on the Yasuo, it feels good to get those 3-man ultimates, and you're like, yeah, I did something.
Yeah, pretty much. Late was the flashiest player on the team, definitely. I think JK, I kind of want to give him MVP for that game, to be
Yeah,
honest. But the amount of
honestly.
pressure that Late was able to pull on his own was absolutely stellar as well. So it's up between those two for me.
Absolutely. I have to agree with you. It's one of those two. It's either the early game from Leet that gets the applause from me, or it's the late game, and honestly, early game from JK. He played, like we said, like we were saying across the course of the game, he was playing that 2v1 beautifully, able to come out with the CS lead and kill lead in the bot side. On the other side of the map, though, Shogun 2077 does fall. How do you come back? How do you bounce back for the next game?
That's a good question. I mean, you tried going at it with the standard team comp and it didn't really work out super well. I think if they maybe they have like some kind of hidden comp up their sleeve that they can use. Because if you're going to be threatening, if you're going to be fighting against a dive comp, a skirmish comp, maybe it's better to go for away maybe it's better to go for champions that can disengage, right? I think Lulu did do that. Hecarim did do that as well, but I don't think it was enough. I think they need a bit more when it comes to that regard, when it comes to the disengage.
Yeah, like we were talking about the Vex and the Poppy, both of which were still up at the end of both ban phases, right? I feel like one of those in any lane would have helped them significantly in dissuading Leet, or the Diana's dive when it came through. But regardless, shout out to Zenigma, unknown there, and I think we're just gonna go straight into the next draft, if I'm correct, right?
I'm not sure. Do we go into a break or
Okay, we're going to be going into a quick break, a quick little break. Don't go anywhere, folks. This has been Runeterra Academy's coverage of Zenigma Unknown versus Shogun 2077. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Zenigma Unknown versus Shogun 2077. It was Zenigma Unknown taking game one, maintaining their honestly, what is it, like 6-0 win streak? So that's what, 7-0 now? They haven't lost a single game in the freshman class. That's absolutely insane, Miles.
Yeah, definitely. Looking to see some more of that coming from them, honestly.
Yeah, they're honestly, yeah, they're just playing out of their minds right here. Amazing draft, followed by, generally equally amazing gameplay. But I'm eager to see
Generally.
what generally, the Yasuo was a little bit rough, but he did out CS his lane opponent. So that's why I say generally,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
doing his best out here, man.
yeah.
He was a CC button, So
It makes sense, He was basically the follow up to keep the enemy team up in the air while the rest of the team were able to just, pop them. Especially
pop
JK
him,
on the Jin, just popping them
that
like
long range.
balloons.
Ooh, 9-2 from last game. But yeah, as we're waiting to hop into draft here, what do you ban on the side of 2077? Do you take away the Gwyn? Do you take away the Jin? Do you take away the Diana maybe? Because like we pointed out before the game's even started, that Diana was, or is the most played from Zenigma's jungler.
I feel like it's less of a draft problem and just a gameplay mistakes coming from Shogun that were really kind of screwed them over in that last game where they just gave up opportunities to Zenigma. Especially, I think the most problematic one was the moment when they gave up position over the Dragon Pit over to Zenigma and decided to fight in the choke point. Like I get it,
Mhm.
you want to be able to use your skills onto a choke point onto the enemy team, but they can also use theirs on. They also have an advantage when it comes to choke points as well. And you'd rather be fighting out in the open. I feel like if you're Zenigma, if you're Shogun with that kind of room to maneuver around what Rakan, Diana, and Yasuo can bring. So I think if they just tighten up their gameplay, things could have gone much better for them. But Zenigma's been really sharp when it comes to the cross map plays as well. So hard to say. I think they definitely should probably ban the Gwen though.
Yeah,
I think that's the
you're right
draft
about
adjustment they should make.
yeah, you're absolutely right about everything you were pointing out, but I think Gwen is just too strong to give up. Gwen is just unless you're first picking the Gwen, you have to get rid of her. Graves, Gwen, Tryndamere, even get rid of them unless you are versed in their counter picks, right? Which generally is looking to be the Gragas for most of them. And if you can't play the Gragas, then just get them out of the game, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
just,
Gragas would have
just
been amazing that last game, by the way.
Oh,
The
dude,
disengage.
Gragas. Oh my god, the smurfing potential, dude. Don't even. Oh my. I'm a Gragas aficionado, dude. I love him in all five roles. Don't even get me started. Great
Five
champion,
rolls. All right.
dude. He's OP with Senna. Don't even. Ah,
All right,
can't
okay,
tell me I'm
okay,
wrong.
fair enough, fair enough. But I feel like ADC is still not the right role for the Senate.
Maybe, dude, maybe. But with that, we will be hopping in a draft. Gangplank again, first ban from 2077. Zenigma Unknown taking away the Morgana. They're sticking to relatively same ban
Yeah,
strategies.
sticking to their plans, but we'll see what they decide to go for. I mean, this time they can first pick the Gwen if they really want to. Diana being taken out, it felt like she was the most disruptive problem, which it can make sense as well. I mean, take your pick, right, between the Jin, Gwen, and the Diana, between who is the most problematic, and you'll get different answers. For Shogun, it seems to me that they just don't want to be playing against a wombo combo like that again, and I think probably they saw Diana as the centerpiece, but I still think they should ban the Gwen.
Yeah, the Gwen was a rough pick for them to play into.
Zyra.
Maybe, yeah, Desire getting banned out. Maybe they have a
Was
counter
that
pick
banned in the
into the
last
Gwen
one?
this time.
Was that banned in the last one?
Think so. I'd have to go back and
It was
look
not
at
banned in the
previous
last.
bans. Oh,
It was not banned in the last one. So
okay.
think so. It's interesting that they decide. Maybe it's a strategy that Zenigma decides to go for. Uh, it decides to go for on red side maybe. So it's gonna be the
Yeah.
Leona first pick coming from Shogun. So a lot of faith going over to Tamari to try and make plays, and they first pick this. So they are assuming that Tamari is going to really be the one to activate their team, right? So I'm looking to
Absolutely.
see a lot of impact coming from this Leona.
Yeah, and more than likely they're looking to roam or they're looking to play hard lane. There's only two ways you can play the Leona out here. But again, with the Nautilus getting picked up from Zenigma with Nautilus and Zhao, unless you pick Trundle, which was just banned away, I don't see how 2077 really wins a skirmish war, except maybe if they pick Leona Lee Sin.
They
But
can
then
they
you
can
have to be
decide
able
to
to
go
play Lee
Olaf.
Sin.
They can decide
Oh,
to go
Olaf
Olaf.
as well. Olaf
You
as
can
well.
go
But
Olaf. I think he would work really well into Xin Shao and Nautilus, especially in the early game. But you
it
kind of
depends on what
want,
the mid laner picks, right?
yeah. Okay, they're
Oh,
just
but
going
it's
for the
gonna be
Hecarim
Hecarim.
again. Yeah, they're going for the
Hmm.
Hecarim again. So a lot less skirmish potential in the early game, but you
So
can farm a lot faster. You can farm a lot faster and be able to be on the map, get to that level 6, and be more impactful. So along with that, along with Leona, the level 6 can be extremely important for Shogun to be able to pull off, and we'll see what they decide to pair this Hecarim up with. What the mid jungle duo will be. I won't be surprised if it's Victor again. I think Crackpot did a really good job on the pick. Oh, instead it's gonna be Jinx. Very meta ADC at this point. One of the strongest hyper carries in the game. So,
yeah,
and
it
also
doesn't even
one
matter
of
if
the
you can play
strongest
her.
slow. Yeah, one of the strongest snowballers in the game as well. Once Jinx gets going and she gets excited, it's very hard to stop her.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter if you can play the Jinx realistically. She just kind of right clicks and then you just walk away from your computer while she gets a pentakill. But one thing I do like into the Jinx is the Caitlyn, right? And we've been talking about how they're going for the LCK strategy,
Yeah,
where
it's
they
gonna be
leave open the
Tristana.
Jinx and pick the Tristana Nautilus. Interesting idea coming out from Zenigma Unknown. Can they play the LCK strategy though? We're gonna have to see and what
That's
they
a
round out the rest of the comp with.
that's a bit of a leap. Fresh.
Hey, you never know, man. You
It's a bit
never
of a
know.
leap from LCK to freshman. You know how it is.
Well, yeah, several leaps, honestly. Like one, two, to
Yeah,
the
we all
moon
know
and back.
freshman's better. It's the better league. Let's be real,
Oh,
guys.
definitely.
It's,
Yeah, yeah. It's actually
you know.
it's like several jumps down from LCK.
Yeah.
Faker, who? Like, dude's lost, bro. It hasn't won a
Faker,
world
we
champion.
have freaking Crockpot here. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Does Faker have
we
pot in his name?
Crockpot. True. Hey, but
All right.
Miles-
All right. All right. Let's get back. Let's get back into the swing of things. Lux and Veigar are being banned away as well. Those are also starting to become meta picks that we see around, just because of the amount of CC they can bring and the amount of skirmish potential they bring as well in the early game. Gwen being banned away, I'm not surprised about that. Annie, the Church of Allah shines upon us this day, Arlen.
First
Praise
pick
be.
any flyer to platinum doesn't even matter.
This is when Wookie plays the choir sound effect. Ah.
But what do you counter pick the Annie with in the mid lane? You have a few options, but the Nico coming out, that's honestly pretty good. She
Yeah.
quite outranges the Annie. She can, toss her stun, or not stun, but the root to keep
Yeah.
Annie away. She tries to, run after her with the Tibbers. So Annie really is going to need that flash here if she ever wants a hope of getting on top of the Nico or killing even the Jinx here, because they have so much range and so much ability to kite out the Annie. But now they have to blind pick their top lane. And that's looking like a rough one right here.
Yeah, who would you pick?
Lilia?
Lilia top. Okay. Fair enough.
Honestly, right here, this is where you say, you know what, we're going all in this early game, and you just pick the Pantheon from Zenigma, and you just
Yeah,
look at
honestly.
Lilia.
You just pick you maybe even pick an ADC and top lane if you really want to. Honestly.
Oh yes, punch the Lilia with the.
Yep.
Oh, but
Put the Draven up there. Okay,
Oh
I guess
my
that.
God,
Oh,
you
there we
did
go. Yeah, I mean
oh,
that's
shot. Okay.
the kind of thing you wanna be going for. A very strong early game and be able to be useful in the late game as well with his passive. So interesting pick coming in from both teams right now. Stuff I probably wouldn't see if I was casting in senior, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you. But freshmen,
right.
this is the fun part about freshmen. You never know what you're gonna get. Freshman is like a box of chocolates.
Almost like I know what you mean.
Have you watched Forrest Gump? Am I a boomer here? Wait.
Of course, I watched Forrest Gump, but if I say I haven't, maybe we get more traffic. You have to think about it that way. It's all about the controversy, my friend.
This guy immediately on Twitter. This caster does not watch Forrest Gump. The absolute audacity.
Yeah, so who's Forrest and why do I care about his gumbo? But absolutely interesting team comp coming out from both sides. I really like their last two picks. They're both entirely different styles, right? You have the Annie and Akshan versus the Nico and the Lilia. It, how does the Nico Lilia combo work out versus that, burst potential of an Annie Akshan?
I mean, they have a lot of AoE, and they're able to, the Lilia able to use her ultimate in conjunction with the Nico would be extremely strong, and then Jinx on the back line. I think it can work out as a 5v5 comp. It will be a bit harder to pull off than normal, press R to win combo, but definitely definitely doable. Meanwhile, Zenigma is just going straight up for the skirmish comp again. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Am I right?
Absolutely. you know, you're right about it. It's not broke, don't fix it. And I think, last time their comp was semi sort of skirmish. It was a lot more heavy, relying on those ultimates being really used effectively together. But this time, they loved that skirmish style of play, and they just went back with it. Now they have a Tristana that can move with them. They have the Nautilus that can move with the Zenzao. They have the Zenzao who loves to take fights. They have the Annie who can be there relatively quickly, especially if she takes Predator, and she has the E move passive speed up. And then Akshan as well can also roam. So honestly, this entire team is so very flexible. They can be mobile, flexible. They can be everywhere all at once and really put the punishment on this Hecarim who just wants to farm till 6 and then look for the plays. And if they can ever find Jinx alone in a side lane, or alone in mid lane, or alone down bot when the lane is roaming, it can quickly spell doom for Shogun.
I would definitely not be surprised if Zenigma decide to go for a level 1 invade like they did last time and try to get an advantage through there, because if Xin Shao gets ahead, he will absolutely dominate the entire enemy team. Honestly, it would be very hard to peel him off from the ADC, from Nico, from Lilia. They do have a lot of CC to keep him at arm's length though, which is the big problem. Like looking at the entire Zenigma comp, until Tristana gets to her extremely ludicrous range, most of them are very short range, so they can get kited. They can get pulled about by the Lilia, by the Nico, by Jinx, and by Jinx with Leona and Hecarim covering for them. So that's something we need to see from Shogun if they have any hope of winning this game.
Yeah, their range, that is a very big part of concern. Their range is really, like, they're effective. They have a lot of bursts, right? But their effective range of the burst is relatively short. So they're really looking at this Tristana to burst out the first person they catch out, and then jump onto the Jinx in the backline with the Zenzao once that first person is cracked open, right?
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like, it's the one thing Kelsey Moser, if any of you know her, Kelsey Moser mentioned that really stuck with me when it comes to thinking about League of Legends. When you think of scaling in terms of range instead of just straight up leveling, you know what I mean? If you can shoot your opponent before they can shoot you, it doesn't matter, right? So if you're able to make use of that as Shogun 2077, they'll be able to effectively just keep Zenigma at bay. So it's up to Zenigma to start making the plays. It's up to them to be able to snowball this out of control once again. Otherwise, relying on Tristana hypercarry, it might take too long for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a very good point. That's a really good point, actually, thinking about scaling. If they can't get onto you, how much of a danger are they really?
If they can't get onto you, their abilities are worthless.
Absolutely. And that's what they've drafted themselves, honestly. They have the Hecarim for the fear, they have the Leona for the engage if they need it. Lilia, great sleeping tool, great AoE denial just around her, right? And the long range sleeps from the E. Nico, again, a great ultimate just for the disengage, just for the area denial, long range route, lots of damage coming out from her Q. And Jinx is looking to be the super hard hyper carry here. If she can just stand back and hit, she'll win this game. But on the opposite side, if you make a single mistake into Zenigma, they will blow the game wide open.
Yeah, and they know how to take advantages without getting kills, which is the scary part for the team. They know how to play the map. I think that's the thing that's separating them from the rest of the pack right now. If they get an advantage, if something happens on one side, they're immediately going to answer on the other.
Absolutely, they are extremely good at that, and that's a skill that is hard to learn. And that's just, shout out to their coach for teaching that to them. So with that, we will be heading to a quick little break. Zenigma Unknown is looking to close out the series against Shogun 2077. Don't go anywhere, folks. We have an absolute banger on our hands. welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Zenigma Unknown versus Shogun 2077. And right now, we might have a little bit of a delayed invade coming in.
I knew it. They
Wooly
were going
Wooly
first.
is
They're going to
on.
walk into a ward immediately, so it's going to get spotted out, and they're going to know
Yeah.
about this. I think last
Either
time they
way,
were
yeah,
a bit unaware, aren't?
yeah,
So now they're
yeah,
going to spot this. They know it's coming.
yeah. They're gonna follow suit on the top side, look to set up some vision, maybe even take the buff away from Key
Minions
Gaming.
have spawned.
So that's well and good. That is well and good. Wooly Bully throws out the hook. Yeah, so any runes that you find interesting that you want to talk about, any rune setups, anything at all, Miles?
Let me just put the monocle
Uh-oh.
on and check out what's going on here. I mean, there's
Uh-oh.
not too much that's really completely standing out to me. It's normal to see Tristana go for the Hail of Blades instead for that early game power spike. Allows her to get to level 2 faster. Allows her to skirmish a lot better when it comes to, as I said, when it comes to the early game. And we'll see what happens here as Slate spots out the fact that they did get answered back with the invade. So both junglers basically getting what they want, but a bit more trading, and Late should be able to get the better of him if it comes to extended trade, but Tafiki's dad knows he has to be a lot more careful when it comes to the range versus melee matchup.
Absolutely. And oh man, excuse me for coughing as well. But yeah.
Everyone's coughing, everyone's sick, it's COVID season.
No, dude, don't say it. I just got the second vaccine today, man. It's painful.
You still came to work. That's some real trooper work right there.
Real dedication as they land the hook in onto Wooly Bully. But look, Key Gaming is down there. They don't care. They're going to start taking the fight. That's going to be the ignite coming down onto Leona. The flash comes out. The heal comes out, though. The flashes from everybody. Everyone's just going for it. CBXL blocking for his support. Wooly Bully taking one turret shot. And oh my gosh, maybe if they had level 2 there, they definitely could have done something. Snyderman trying to trade in a little bit on the compound.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. The hook did not come off cooldown to be able to catch him here, but
but the hook
instead.
was fine. CBXL, one last hit from the Tristana here.
Oh my god.
Maybe it could have been a kill. But just like that, Wooly Bully gets the hook champion and just starts demolishing this bot lane. Says, you know what? I had enough of the roaming game. I'm going to start playing over.
Yeah, we're going to win the 2v2 right here, right now. JK still has very low health, though. So if he gets caught out, he could just get bursted by Axa and Tamira immediately. Something to look out for. But Wooly Bully's doing a good job zoning, making sure that they can't even think about going near JK right now. Because they will just get hooked, they will get stunned up, and then they will get bursted down.
Absolutely, absolutely. And look right there. You see Akshan taking the top Scuttle Crab away from Tafiki, knowing that his ends out. Well,
I'll be able to get it.
Actually,
they're drawing. It's a race.
It's elite. Look at Tafiki's dad. He's looking to join his son. That's going to be the flash, but you flash onto the wrong side of the map. That has to be a guaranteed kill for Tafiki or Tafiki's dad. The ghost comes out. Ekram. No way.
No way, it's not.
First blood.
Honestly, at that point, maybe he could have waited, then immediately tried to suicide onto the tower, but unfortunately, probably not enough time either, and the wraparound from the Hecarim is just too easy. So first blood going over to Tafiki's dad. He's going to be happy about that, especially since he got pushed in, but that was a lot of minions also lost to the tower while that was all happening. So it's a give or take whether you think things turned out even. I think it's still definitely good for the side of for the side of Shogun. But, everything comes at a cost.
Yeah, they that kill is definitely like a morale boost, I would say, right? It feels really good to get first blood, especially after you were honestly dominated by Tafiki's dad on the Gwyn earlier today, right? So that's a good little morale boost.
Late on the Gwyn.
Yeah. Oh, my fault. I messed up. Yes, right. Late on the Gwyn, and it was Tafiki's dad on Mordekaiser getting.
No, it happens. It happens. But... Meanwhile, here in the bot lane, things are still just, oh my god. JK, look at the CS advantage this guy has already. It's absolutely insanity.
Already has a very nice CS advantage for himself. Missing a few minions here, so it's going to equalize a little bit if CBXL can collect all of them. But like you said, already 10 CS over his opponent, and they have so much pressure on the bot side of the map. They're just missing their jungler to pick up this Drake. Honestly, if he was down here, I would have gone for it immediately, right? Level 6s will be coming in soon.
Yeah,
And that means
honestly.
that is the go button.
They could decide to go for it, but it's a bit dangerous since they saw Hecarim was there, so it would have been responded to immediately. Plus, Nico has priority over the Annie right now when it comes to the mid lane, and it would be very dangerous for them to enter into an outnumbered situation when they don't have a complete advantage. It's bully.
Oh, Wooly Bully getting caught out there, or getting the catch out there, and that's going to be Tafiki the jump in, trying to come through from JK, but it doesn't even matter. They get directly onto Leona. That's the target they want. JK getting lowest in the fight, but he gets the jump, he gets the reset. That's going to be a triple kill, you have to imagine. Oh, Wooly Bully stealing that kill away.
Yeah,
you know,
he deserves
you
one.
can't
He
have
deserves one. He deserves one at least.
the Nautilus can have a small kill as a treat.
Yeah, but there we go. The 3v3 going in complete favor of the side of the side of Zenigma right now. Able to take advantage of all the CC they're able to bring to the table. Unfortunately, Hecarim at level 4 not going to be as effective as a Zinja at level 4. That's just how it is, and he did send up.
Snyder looking for the solo kill, doesn't quite have the damage, didn't find the ignite either. I think he was out of mana, to be honest, going for that, so he's just dropping the ultimate to clear the way. Likely. Absolutely,
It's just a bit of pressure, you know. It's not. I think he's gonna try to go back immediately as soon as he gets help from his jungler to push this wave in. Unless his jungler decides to actually just go for the red buff instead, which, okay, fine, I guess, but he should probably be helping Snyder go for a back right now.
Yeah, honestly. Probably help out your mid laner. He's looking pretty weak, pretty alone.
Yeah, at this point, if you're Hecarim, you 100% gank that Annie, but decide to go for the Scuttle Crab instead.
You know, he has a few different lanes he could gank right here, but he doesn't quite have level 6, but it's looking to be the wraparound. Leet doesn't see it happening, but things are coming down. He doesn't have ultimate himself, though. But Tafiki's dad has ultimate. The ghost comes out, the sleep comes out while he's airborne, and that's going to be another kill picked up for Tafiki's dad.
Tafiki's dad doing a good job, and Lilia, when she gets ahead, can be extremely hard to deal with just because of how mobile she is, how fast she is. It's hard to land skill shots on her. It's hard to be able to land CC on her. So if she's able to get super far ahead, she can just run circles around the entire enemy team. But Tafiki's dad will see what he can do. In this case, right now, Wooly Bully might be in a bit of trouble.
Really getting caught out a little bit here. Does have the flash in the way. Throws a hook, misses on his CBXL, but CBXL forced the flash out. Gets rooted up. The heal comes out as well, but look at the damage from JK. Jumps in, jumps out, and just like that, you take 2 summoner spells from your opponent when you have ultimate, and she does not.
Yep, there we go. But JK still such a big advantage right here in the bot lane. And it's just starting to snowball, right? It's starting to snowball more and more as the lane keeps getting pushed in. Might be able to get a single turret plate for himself as well, which would put the Tristana super far ahead. Oh wait,
do look for more. Hook comes out, and that is gonna be a quick and clean little kill coming out there. CBXL gets ignited by Wooly Bully, and JK picks up another kill.
Man, I was talking about plates, but apparently they want to go for more Wooly Bully. Calculated. All right. Okay.
That was not worth it. But Lee looks almost. Does he get solo killed out? No, the shield comes out just in time. The flash comes out as well. And Tafiki's dad decides he doesn't want to waste his own flash looking for the kill.
I think he could have flashed that. I think he might as well just go for it, honestly, at this point.
I think he could have gone for the flash as well, but maybe he just didn't know where the Zinzao was, right? Thought it was a little bit too late.
Fair enough. But at this point, you know, the bot lane's turning out to be a bit of a disaster right now, so you kind of want to take risks to be able to carry this game. But different philosophies. Oh my gosh, the damage!
Well, that forces Crockpot's own flash. Snyder looking for one last Q, doesn't quite find it. Not just barely outside of range, I think.
He does not have flash, unfortunately, to be able to get that one. So not gonna be able to get it as late.
Swinging in there. Looking for the ultimate, looking for the angle, doesn't quite find it around the minions. Finds a few shots, actually. But nothing comes of it, just using the ultimate for pressure. And it's a complete story. It's a complete flip from game 1, right? Like, look at the CS difference in the top side and the kill difference versus, you know, last game, right?
Yeah. To be fair, though, I think Tafiki was able to just, you know, it's a lot easier to be able to gank Akshan than Gwen, I feel, where Gwen can threaten the 2v1, honestly, as they're going for more. Wooly Bully, he has no... He's just launching the ultimate immediately, doesn't care. Willing to waste that in order to get some vision control for himself, and why not, since you're this far ahead, you want to make sure you have that control over the map. So that you're not in fear of a gank.
Yeah, get a little bit pressure down with the ultimate right there. Yep, that's all well and good. Now what are we looking at? Well, ooh, Tafiki's status dropping super low. Maybe looking for the dive here, and that's going to be him flashing out elite. Is it behind the turret? The onslaught of shadows comes through. He's feared up. He's running away. He's looking for his jungler. His jungler is there. The shield comes out. It's so very close, but the flash comes out from Key, and that is Key picking up his third kill of the game with the Jinx rocket from downtown.
Hey, that's the 3-pointer right there.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's a 3-pointer right there that you needed. Axel able to get one back.
That's a whole 4-pointer, bro.
Okay, yeah, fine. Full court shot. Fair enough. Fair enough. Full court shot. He can have that one. Oh no.
But they just go directly past the Leona here. The exhaust comes out. The ignite comes out as well, but it doesn't even matter. But in the mid lane, that's a solo kill as well. But in the bot lane, they're still going for it. Oh, JK jumps so deep, but he does get picked up by the Jinx. We need to go back and see what happened in the mid lane because Crockpot finally gets soloed out there by Snyderman. Didn't even drop the bear, I don't think. And oh man, with that kill in the mid lane, you have to imagine it's a little bit of a disaster in terms of micro.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there for Crockpot, unfortunately. Annie didn't have flash. She didn't use her... Yeah, she didn't use her ultimate. So like, she just killed him with abilities?
Oh no, he did use ultimate. That's just the move.
Okay. All right, so he dumped everything on her and just killed her. All right, fine. It makes sense there. So 2 stacks on the Darksteel, but at least because of that play in the bot lane where JK went a bit too far aggressive, they're gonna be able to take the second dragon for themselves. So the snowball potential coming. Wait, might be a solo kill in the top lane as well.
Oh, the damage comes through as well, but he swings the wrong way on the rope king. The rope swing rather, the grappling hook, he's looking for a lot of damage and the ultimate comes out, but he gets hit by the bowling ball. Is he gonna drop down due to the passive? It doesn't look like it, but he's dangerously low under this turret. You have to back here. You can't stay.
You cannot.
But he's going to stay.
No way. No way.
Oh, but he's getting spotted and already just the Q. It's like, what? Come on, man.
Come on. I can't believe Lane decided to go for that.
But that was while they were trading, you know.
That was a very low percentage play.
Hey, it was very ambitious. You know, you have to respect ambition sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
But even while they were shaking...
I don't know about that time, though. That feels like one of those times where I don't respect it.
And again, the ultimate comes out, and Crockpot again getting first. Oh, no. I think that's a solo kill. Another solo kill from Siderman in the mid lane. Tafiki gets the ultimate, but he misses the Leona ultimate as well. He misses the E, and that's gonna be Tafiki getting taken out and maybe a kill, but a great flash getting away from the Nautilus hook. And it's like, what are you doing there? The Leona mechanics were all over the place.
But have you seen the Annie mechanics? You just pressed R right there.
The Annie mechanics on point. You just pressed R, instant burst eco, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, Crockpot unfortunately victimized again by the full Annie combo. Just dumped everything on top of her. And that's what happens when you get Annie. Very simple to use. This is why, you know, the Church of LS advocates for her all the time for every mid laner. If you want to learn mid lane, play Annie. Just because of that, she does insane amount of damage. She's able to stun people up in an AoE and set things up for your team. And Xin Xiao coming in with the clutch. He was on the right place at the right time. The teleport came in. I think that was just insurance to make sure things could get cleaned up. But you know. Might as well use it just to make sure that you actually win the fight, right?
This is very interesting. Look at look at the positioning of Wooly Bully, and they're gonna walk right into Crockpot here. He's trying to run away, goes invisible, doesn't find anything else, gets the very nice root, and the ultimate comes in as well. Lee is so low already, but already on the top side of the fight.
Wait.
Comes out on the key, and the Jinx rocket hits Lee, and that's a losing fight already. That's 2 kills, but look at that. The shutdown goes over to Spider-Man. Excel free hitting as he wants, and the only person to survive is Wooly Bully. Gets a kill and flashes out, but the slow lands. Excel has the rockets, and they're chasing. The flash comes out from Excel. The root just hits, and that is going to be Crockpot taking the first kill of this game.
Yeah, okay, finally.
His first kill of this game.
Yeah, it's finally some justice, some revenge. Meanwhile, though, Tristana was able to get the tower on the bot side, so things still traded out, cross-map control taken. But yeah, that was a really good fight. I'm not sure why Late was over-forcing. I think he still thinks he's playing the Gwen. I'm not sure. he decides to just go in on that into the enemy jungle by his lonesome, and unfortunately got punished for it, and the rest of his team got punished for it as well.
Yeah, right here is where you're talking to Elite, like, hey, bro, why don't we just, just chill a little bit. JK just walks right by Leona. No one seems to notice each other. But yeah, Elite needs to relax a little bit here on this Akshan pick, thinking he's a little bit too strong, or stronger than he actually is.
Oh wait,
Ooh, stun hits onto JK, 2 stuns, the exhaust or the cleanse comes through, but it's so much CC layered onto Tristana. They use the ultimate as well as it's a Pinky, and he's looking for the kill. He doesn't quite find the last auto tech, and he heals up, and he's going to be taken now by someone. That is going to be key, taking that up, and look at Snyderman in the front lines, trying to burst out Tamari, and he does find him. But that's Crockbot in the middle of the team. Excel's hitting onto Zinzao. It doesn't even matter. He has the ultimate on top of him, and that's going to be the knockup going onto the Jinx. But he's still free hitting. Light getting taken so dangerously low, but so many kills going over to each side. 3 for 3 right there. Oh no, 3 for 3, but the revive did come out for Snyder, so effectively a 3 for 2 because Snyder is already back out onto the map.
All right, fair enough. At least they're able to get their mid back. Still, I guess an advantage for the side of for the side of Zenigma, but
it doesn't feel like it, yeah.
This game is a lot more messy than it was in the last time. Zenigma not fully in control this time, and I guess it's just late not having the pressure that he did. Like when he was on the Gwen, this Akshan not showing as much value when it comes to the 1v1, at least able to show value when it comes to the team fights as Bully walks in.
Right into so many members, but he has his jungler here, he has late here, he has JK here. The cavalry has arrived, and that's Leona getting taken out. They're looking for Tafiki. They don't quite find him, and that is an ultimate going down onto Crockpot's clone. That one feels really bad.
Yeah, that's not gonna feel good, unfortunately. So now this dragon fight could totally be fought 4v5. Takiki decided to go in. Bully takes check.
Crockpot with a hook, but that's Bully getting taken out already. Light.
Oh no!
Right, oh my God! The instant pop, and JK's in the backside of the fight, trying to cut out Kafiki's dad. It doesn't even matter. JK's looking for him, doesn't quite find him. The stun comes through. Tafiki running the
one more.
Key looking for the 1v1. Oh, that's so close. He finds it. But does he take Crockpot? They're missing all of his abilities. He walks into the root and he doesn't get away. Oh, this game is so very close. They do pick up the Drake on the side of Zenigma, but the fight is lost.
God damn, the finest of margins right now between these two teams when it comes to these big team fights. It's like definitely Shogun. It doesn't feel like they got discouraged by that last game at all because they're firing on all cylinders right now when it comes to these team fights. They're able to kite out. I think the biggest mistake was Axel just stepping forward when he knows that Annie still has her full combo. You never step forward in that case, but just unfortunate wasn't able to continue as Tamire.
Nope, they missed the hook from Light, or sorry, not Light, Bully there, and even with the Ignite going down, a lot of low health bars, but not quite kills.
Yeah, I think they missed the timing on there from the side of Shogun. Oh wait, Axel might be in a bit of trouble, but I think they didn't back early enough, so they aren't able to get back on the map faster than oh no, the hook!
Great hook from all the way downtown, but JK doesn't feel like they can do it under turret, so he calls off his Nautilus, and that nothing comes of that play. But still a great hook, and you know that you can hit them from Bully. Does he look for it again?
Yep. We'll see if he's gonna be able to get one. Well, it's a close range hook this time, but they're going for more.
Light trying to duel Excel in the back line, and they instant pop them. But look at that! Crockpot had the flank, had the TP, but it doesn't even matter at the end of the day because everyone on the side of Snyderman's team gets popped instantly. What a great teleport ward there from Crockpot. That was absolutely beautiful. They're looking to find out Key here. He has the ultimate, but he's getting drowsy. He's getting exhausted. He's looking for the 3v1. Doesn't find it, and they take a turret. This is a complete flip. It's still a messy game for both sides, but right now it looks to be in the favor of Shogun 2077. About 1,000 gold in the league.
Yeah, Shogun 2077 coming alive in this game right now when it comes to these big 5v5 fights where they're able to get the flank off, and Crockpot has been absolutely amazing on this Nico, getting her ultimate off onto the correct targets and popping them. So JK and Late have to be a lot more careful, especially Late, I think. They do not have any means of protecting themselves. There is no blood. There is no bloodthirster shield bow on top of any of the carries right now, so they can easily get popped by someone. And then Excel gets excited. He's able to clean things up. Last at that time though, again, Excel made a mistake. He walked forward when there was an Annie.
He existed in the general vicinity of an
Yeah.
Annie.
You
Yeah, that's a
existed-
rough one.
That's it's just rough for ADCs out there, man. Get one shot immediately. The position has to be absolutely physical perfect for Axel. He even has to, stay on the outside of the outskirts of the fight.
Absolutely. And now the
Before-
Baron dance
before
for
he
them
can go in.
starts. They're looking for that play here, or maybe they're looking for a play in the mid lane. They do have the Ghost, they do have the Onslaught of Shadows here available for the Hecarim, but they get spotted on the ward. So that is a quick response from Zenigma, but the jump is already used by JK. Is it enough for a go button? I don't think they quite saw it jump come out, so they decide not to pull the trigger. And look at that, Annie on the bottom side of the map, just split pushing, but has the Zen for coverage. So honestly, oh no, the Baron gets started though.
Thousand Zhao 2 on the bot lane, so they're immediately just going for this right now.
Yeah, they're gonna have to start run. They have to hold this off with the 3 members that they do have. Tafiki's dad walks right into the middle of it. Wooly Bully right there. Drops the ultimate, doesn't have enough tankiness right there. Now it's gonna be opting for the steal unless they can look for the American 4v5.
Nice flash.
Being low, 4K, 3K. Annie does have flash. Annie has popped, looking for Excel in the back line.
Oh, he
has
did.
flash. Look at the fear. And that's gonna be JK getting taken down. He didn't
Oh,
use Nico. And Nico cleans that kill up. Light trying to run away. All they found was Excel, but it doesn't even matter at the end of the day. He flashes out trying to run away from Tafiki, and right there, that's gonna be the Baron going over to the side of Shogun 2077.
Oh my gosh, really well played by Shogun. That was an amazing Baron call right there. As soon as they saw the mid laner and the jungler down bot, they immediately popped towards Baron. There's not much Bully can do except try to buy time for his team, so he tries to do that. Fortunately, not enough. And he tries to go in on top of the ADC. But at this point, Axel is not the right target. Crockpot is.
Yeah, and it's not just like you don't have damage into the rest of the team. You're 2 items on this, Annie. You're so very strong in comparison to everyone else in this game. You can quite realistically burst through this front line, right? You can burst through Tafiki's dad. You can burst through Tafiki himself. And you can burst into Mario on the Leona. So you don't have to look for the juicy one-shot, build onto the Jinx, especially when she's relatively weak right here. And that will be the second Cloud Drake of the game picked up for the side of, Shogun 2077. And yeah, right now, I think you just try to focus on the front line as much as possible if you are Zenigma unknown, right? You just try to focus for them,
Yeah.
and you try to play the fights, relatively standard. Right now, their fights have been disengaged or, staggered. And right here, Crockpot.
Oh no. Yeah,
More
that's what
likely
you need
gonna
to
get
do.
soloed.
That's what
Do
you need
that!
to do.
Do that! Even with
Snyder-
the Zanya's, you couldn't even escape.
Snyder, that's what you need to do. Every team fight, that's who you should be aiming for.
Just walk up, burst Nico when Nico tries to go for the Proto Belt into the middle of your team.
Yeah, pretty
You know-
much. Save it for the Nico. If Crockpot is down, I don't think there's much that the rest of the team can do. I don't think they have nearly enough damage to be able to carry a team fight from themselves, especially compared to the items between Tristana and Jinx. Axel is an item I think 1/3 of an item behind right now. So Tristana will absolutely beat her in terms of DPS. Also, when it comes to the level and the scaling, JK will do a lot more damage. Snyderman.
But they're on the wrong side of the
Oh,
fight,
no.
and that's going to be so many ultimates already to put it Excel, and he's instant popped. The hook goes wide onto Leona, and that's going to be the teleport coming out from Crockpot, but it's too little, too late. Your Jinx is already gone.
Yeah, this was supposed to be the power play with the Baron, but it's turning into a bit of a negative power play right now because people just got picked up again and again. Can't really do much as they found the clone of Crockpot trying to go onto JK, but he's not going to pull the trigger just yet. Oh,
Thanks. Bully misses the hook, but look at Snyder, man. He has fully stacked passive with Tibbers, and look at Leet on the backside, but he does get spotted out by Tafiki. Tafiki's pinging him. They're talking about it. They're looking for the Akshan
mid lane
chasing.
ARAM. That's what I love to see.
Yeah,
The
you
mid
love
lane
it.
ARAM,
You
that's what I
love
love
to
to
see
see.
in ARAM, as it's called overseas.
The
Absolutely.
Naram, the glorious Nair, the famous one, the most famous one as well.
The best meta in the world. Don't at me. It's everyone else's fault that we haven't won worlds.
All right,
Definitely not our
well,
own game.
I guess we're just gonna cast in an ARAM right now. right now. We're just watching these
ARAM with
teams.
a little bit of extra
Extra
side lanes.
flavor, spicy ARAM.
I don't know what those lanes are for, but mid lanes are. Spider-Man does get tagged up by the bowling ball, but nothing comes out. Crockpot gets the root, but he does get tagged up by the slow. Leet still looking for the flank. Nothing's happening of it, and the Baron buff does wear out, so they can no longer have that instant pushing pressure coming from the side of Shogun 2077. So
Alright.
what do you do now? You have to probably back off, right? You didn't get anything out of this Baron play, and
At
now
this
you're
point,
just
you
kinda
send
playing
Lily at
safe.
the split push. I don't know what they're doing. The Piggy's dad has to go up there to the top lane. There's a free tower up there for the taking, while the rest of the team is like ARAMing it down mid. I mean, play the map, guys. Play the map.
Yes, someone has to take that tower. It's so very low. No one is there at the turret right now to defend
That's
it.
free gold right there. It's absolutely free real estate that anyone can take at this moment.
Absolutely true, man. Free real estate. A minute 45 on the next Drake. What do you want to see Zenigma Unknown do in that time?
I want to see them play the map, to be honest with you. But I think it's just gonna come down to team fights right now between these two teams. That's where they're gunning for. Where it's gearing up for that ultimate clash in the Dragon Pit or the Baron Pit, whichever objective decides to pop up first, or whichever objective both teams decide to go for. It's not even essential dragons we have right now. It is a wind. It is a Cloud Drake. However, if the side of Shogun is able to get it, that's such a big advantage towards them because their
they
movement
love it.
speed will be faster. And it will be so hard for the rest of the team to be able to catch him as Spider-Man's here.
He gets to the
Oh.
flash, the instant deletion, chef's kiss to the Annie. And that's why you pick Annie, especially when people don't, check bushes.
Yeah, definitely. But that means Flash is gone for the Annie, for this dragon fight. But
Annie.
Tafiki's dad is still gonna be here. I don't know why they're going for a fight right now.
Really Bully gets the double knockup. The fear goes in onto the Tristana. She gets exhausted, but the cleanse comes through, so it doesn't even matter at the end of the day. And she's just free hitting, but so is the Jinx. And that's gonna be Snyder getting the stun. No,
Solo
but the
kill,
pushback saved.
Wait,
Leona's life right there.
Crockpot just killed late, I think, up in the top lane. So
Oh, he did.
yeah, I think so.
Ooh, so a solo bolo coming down from Leet. Oh, you know what it was? Leet was trying to teleport.
Oh,
And he
that's
got caught out.
unfortunate. That's unfortunate
That
right
sucks,
there.
man.
I feel like that was a really wrong fight for Shogun to take at the wrong time though. If they had waited, I don't know.
Oh,
Crockpot.
Snyder looking for the flank. They do find the dash over the wall from Key Gaming, and this is a dead Nico. Why would you even bother to drop?
Can't be a
these,
throw like this, right? Shogun, you've made it so far into this game. It can't be like this.
It is only a 300 gold advantage, but they don't have their jungler. I don't know if you can contest this. And as to your point, as you were saying, this is more of a Drake that you want to keep. This is a soul that you don't want Shogun 77 to have
Yeah.
access to, right? Because
Yeah.
everybody on their team loves movement speed. Like literally every single person except for maybe Leona, but even she loves it. Loves extra movement speed when you pop ultimate.
Listen, if Leona wants more movement speed so she can get in their faces faster. That's,
Yeah, honestly, true. So everybody on their team just loves more movement speed.
honestly, movement speed, one of the most underrated stats in the game, Marlon. It's just such a good. It's like a bit more movement speed is the difference between a bit more movement speed is the difference between a skill shot hitting you and not like a big stun, for instance. If you have that bit more movement speed and you're able to get away, that can completely turn around the fight. So that's why one of the most important balance changes Riot makes is like when they balance a champ's movement speed, especially for
That's true.
junglers.
But counterpoint, imagine if you had 1000 AD on Pantheon. Just toss it out. You just kind of want you out
All
there.
right, fair enough. If champion,
You know,
if Pantheon get, if one day Pantheon gets Nasus pass Q, then sure, well, we're gonna have problems there.
No flashes out though. They look for the hook on to Tafiki's dad, and he goes golden. The stun comes out from Leona, but it doesn't even matter.
More.
The double roof. He
Nico.
tries to flash to the back line, but look at the
Only
Nico.
one.
Everyone flashes out. They only find Wooly Bully, and that's going to be so much damage. But
Oh.
JK gets taken out there,
Let's go.
and Wooly Bully is forced to run away. But look at that. Snyder getting taken out the fight, absolutely gone. Lee trying to find one back, but Estelle has gone crazy. Excel has gotten excited.
Oh.
Excel has gone mad. He is into the back line. A triple kill for Excel, and he's trying to do so much, trying to get back
Quadra?
to the Keaton. probably going to be the Quadra here from the Jinx. Key Gaming gets taken out, and that is the Quadra from CB Excel.
All right, didn't count
Absolutely
it. That's
beautiful
so sad, but they're going to be able to get the Baron for himself. So, no quadra kill for Axel, but he did his job. He did his janitorial duties in that game and was able to survive and do enough damage to the enemy team. Unfortunately, for Crockbot not able to get the best ultimate off, but he was able to zone off the entire enemy team and allow Axel the space that he needed to be able to win that fight.
Absolutely. And one thing I just want to highlight is the way, the damage was moved across the team, right? Annie pretty much dropped every ounce of damage she could muster onto a Lilia who was just gonna go Zhonya's, and that's exactly what Tafiki's dad did, right? Like, they just went into Zhonya's, and all of a sudden, all your damage that you would drop from JK and Ciderman, boof, it's disappeared into the ether, and now you have nothing to turn on to CBXL for, and he's just free hitting into your squad. So they need to reevaluate their pick strategy, right? They need to reevaluate which targets they can realistically blow up. And one thing I want to highlight, just now, CBXL hits a third item. So realistically, that IE wasn't actually doing anything, right? IE only activates when you have 3 crit items, and including the IE itself. So realistically, it wasn't really doing anything. And the fact that he was able to pick up 4 kills with a honestly defunct item, that's really good.
Yeah, now Excel is activated. Now he can do the amount of damage that he needs, but he still needs to be careful not to walk into Annie, of course. We've seen twice it happen, but Snyderman, as you said, decision making here. If you see an opportunity, you have to think: is this the right one? Not every opportunity is a good one.
Yeah. Key Gaming and Lee looking for Crockbot. He's going to Protobell out, so nothing comes of it at the end of the day. Snyder hovering in the wings to make sure, but look who's in the mid lane, relatively alone. Only has a Hecarim for Peel. That's CB Excel. So they make the right call and they back off.
Yep, and there we go. If they're I'm not sure they can do much with this power play with this Baron though. Even though they did get it, they don't really have any space to take towers except for maybe the one in the top lane. Other than that, it's really covered right now. It's just gonna be a bit of a gold shift again in favor towards Shogun, but that's it. I feel like they're just gonna group up again and try to go for the dragon fight.
It's going to be, speaking of dragon fights, that's 45 seconds left on the dragon timer. Wooly Bully and Snyder clearing out vision. But look how many resources they're devoting to the top side of the map. 3 members up there, especially when the Drake is 30 seconds from spawning. That's too many members up there, Zenigma. Unless your strategy is to somehow get a base race going from Leet's split push, I don't know if you really want to stay up there. Maybe look for an item reset for Leet here, and then look for the teleport flank.
Yeah,
But I'm talking 17 seconds.
Yeah, Annie picked up another item for herself, and now they're just gonna go for the dragon fight right now with both teams vying for it. Dragon Soul on the line, but game not on the line yet. It feels like unless the entire enemy team gets wasted and they can just run it down, and Shogun can just run it down the mid. We'll see how the fight plays out.
Both teams approaching from opposite sides, but they see that Annie. Look at that Leet in the mid lane, clearing up the mid lane. They're going to start up the Drake from 2077. Key Gaming looking to steal it away.
Oh, he got it.
Does find the steal, and that's going to be Snyder into the back line, but CBXL, look at him. He's still free hitting. He's still doing so much damage right there. CBXL trying to get away, uses the Gale Force on the JK, and they don't find the Tristana. He gets out so close. The AoE doesn't hit it, and that's going to be CBXL dropping, and that's going to be a complete team fight wipe. And right there, everything came down to mechanics.
Mechanics and decision making. Snyder absolutely got the better of his opponent right there. Crockbot going down immediately means that he cannot pull off the Nico combo, and with that, there's no space for Axel to be able to play in. He's completely trapped between a rock and a hard place right now, having to deal with everything. They tried to zone. Hecarim tried to zone. Fiki tried to zone out the entire enemy team. Fortunately, it didn't work out, and after that team fight, they can just end it. Yeah, it's over.
They definitely can just end it. They all still have tippers for an extra minion, right? Yeah, they can end it. There's 3 seconds left on Crockbot. He has the ultimate, he has the flash, and this has to be the hero play. He's looking for it. You have to go for it right now. And they're going for it, but they just flash over, and it doesn't even matter. That's the GG's from a hero play. Wow.
Really solid game from both teams, honestly. That's exactly what I could ask for, a back and forth between both teams. And it just came down to the wire every single time, but that time it was just Enigma that got the better of their opponents in the moment.
Absolutely. I was 100% expecting 27-7 to take that game. I thought they just had the better draft and I thought they were playing it out. Um, but yeah, look at that. Look at that gold advantage. Only 2K separating each of these teams, and you can sell from the goal difference over time that, Shogun 27-7, they weren't down gold for that long. They had their moments where they were spiking up and they did a lot of damage on this Jinx, but it's just Annie ran amok in that mid game, just absolutely popping players left, right, and center, getting shutdown after shutdown onto her. So yeah, that's going to be the 2-0 victory for Zenigma Unknown. They're going to maintain their, what is that?
The
Roughly
It's
8 and
a
0.
eight. Yeah, they're 8-0 right now when it comes to game, and it's five
That
and
feels
zero, I
nice.
believe, when it comes to series wins. Oh wait, no, the
4
math.
0, 4 0.
Yeah, 4-0. The math doesn't make sense. Sorry.
The math was a little
Wait.
bit off. Wait a minute. Calculator. But yeah, that's going to be the game. Like Zenigma Unknown maintains their winning streak, maintains with first place, and Shogun 27-7. Now they're more of a middle of the pack team. They're still second place on paper, but now they're dropping down to what, three
Yeah.
and one.
The
Sorry,
the
2-2 rather.
the how do I put this? Separation between Zenigma and the rest of the freshmen is
Head
it's
and
kind of
shoulders.
obvious right now. It's kind of, yeah, there's a kind of a gap right now, but that gap can definitely be closed. We saw
Mhm.
Zenigma close to losing.
Oh,
It's
we definitely
possible.
did.
It is possible for other teams to be able to overcome them. But again, it's just a few happy plays from Zenigma that could end up costing them the game. So, it might happen one day their undefeated streak might lose. But for now, of course, congrats to them for being able to pull this one out of the bag.
Yeah, absolutely. GG's to both squads. We will be back here tomorrow, I do believe, with Sophomore Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good evening. Have a good rest of the evening, everybody. This has been Arlent, joined by my wonderful color caster, Miles David. Miles, it was an absolute pleasure.
Yep. Good to see you too.
Goodbye, folks.